Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another Sporting160EN podcast. This is podcast number 59, actually. Damn, getting close to 60, boys. Anyways, I'll jump right into the panel. It's obviously me, Danny, a little under the weather, so sorry about my ugly-ass voice right now. But we're also joined with Christian. Christian, how you doing, dude?
I'm doing all right, man. I'm also a little bit under the weather, so you could probably hear a little snivel in my voice as well. Apologies for that. At least Sporting got back on track a little bit today.
For real. And we would have been sitting in third had they have gotten their shit together last weekend as well. But anyways, we'll get into that. We're also joined by Nando. What's up, bro? How you doing, man?
Hey man, I'm doing well. Yeah, so we at least I don't know how I feel about these last four games, man. It was a mixed bag of
Yeah, dude, definitely a roller coaster as always. Anyways, we're gonna start off with the Twitter questions this week. We released a tweet out on the third. We were gonna do a podcast immediately after the PSV and Gil Vicente games, but unfortunately things came up, so we couldn't. But we'll start answering and reading out your comments right now. So starting off with David Claudio at David Strife 35. He asks, why can't we have good results on both Liga Europa and Liga Portuguesa? Do you like Luis Neto? And do you agree that some players at Sporting do not have the mentality to play in our club? Nando, I'll give that first one off to you. Lots to unpack, but go ahead, dude.
Yeah, so Luis Neto to me, he's a serviceable center back. I think he does his job. I don't think he's going to win any awards back there. I don't think he's going to put out a performance like we saw Matteo put today, and he's definitely not going to offer any kind of work to the team. But he's serviceable. It is what it is. He has his bad games and he has his good games. And then the second part of that question you said was what? Because you cut up a little bit.
Sorry, it was. Do you agree that some players at Sporting do not have the mentality
Oh
to
yeah,
play in our club?
100%. Yeah. I think we've all kind of touched bases on that over the past few months or even over a year now. Gosh, we can even go back into Bruno Carvalho's presidency. Sporting definitely players that don't have not even the wherewithal to understand the magnitude that is Sporting, and I think that's where you end up having games in which we lose to Gil Vicente and games that we play very poorly against Moreirense at times and things like that, where a team with quote unquote a much bigger salary and ability financially loses to an underdog or to a team that has pennies to the dollar like we do. So that's our mentality. That's all wanting to win. That's all wanting to honor the Sporting that let alone not have the talent to play there, but they also don't have the mental capability to try to do so as well or play to the best of their ability.
100%, dude. And I was seeing this clip from Mourinho. You guys should know by now. I'm a huge Mourinho fan, where he talks about not it's sort of off topic, but sort of on the same thing with the mentality. Where he was saying that he's had captains for his clubs that haven't been leaders, and where when you have a leader in your team, it sort of makes everything a lot easier to manage. Instead of being a manager, you're more of a coach, and I think that's really big on Sporting, even on today. Where I mean, and all credit to Bruno Fernandes, but is he a leader of the team? I'm even in that aspect, I'm not 100% sure. He'll lead by example in terms of his technical abilities, 100%. But as a leader, yeah, I'm not sure. So I'm with you. I'm not sure. We haven't had players with the right mentality for the club, even in Bruno Carvalho's era. So yeah, 100% agree with you, dude. Anyways, next question comes in from PM Rider-esque at still PM Rider-esque on Twitter. He says PSV win looked great, but you have to factor into the equation you're taking on a side who hadn't won in 8 games and were devoid of confidence. Why do we persist with Hesse, at least of all out on the right? spent more time falling over and thinking of pies than contributing anything versus Gil Vicente. 100% agree with you, dude. All right, and now let's go into the comments and questions on today's tweet. Starting with Joel Da Silva at Joel Leão _73. He asks, let's talk Matheus Pereira. How do you guys feel about him? While he's tearing apart the championship, we are stuck with Balassi and Hesse. Is there any chance we will be able to see him back in a Sporting shirt? Personally, I don't think him coming back, but what are your opinions? Christian, I'll pass that one off to you, dude.
Yeah, I don't think he's coming back no matter what happens. I've even seen reports that say that West Brom is interested in activating the buyout clause and then flipping him for a profit, similar to what happened with Demiral. They activated the 3.5 and then turned around and sold him for like 20. So, that would be a punch in the gut if that happened again, especially a player his quality. He goes to, one of the bigger clubs in England. And I'm obviously I want to see him succeed. I've always liked him and I wish him the best, but it seems like we're gonna waste the talent there. And we'll get 9 million euros for him, which isn't horrible. I've seen worse transactions from Sporting, but he's probably worth more than that. Probably worth about double, I think.
Yeah, I mean,
especially in the English market, man, he's 20 million easy.
Exactly. Yeah, maybe it's number 7 that he took last year. That curse is really, really big amongst us, man. Anyways, yeah. Next question comes in from, again, David Claudio at David Streif 35. He asks, do you guys think there are players in Sporting that do not have the mentality to play for our club? Yeah, we answered that. Do you like Luis Neto? We answered that. In January, do you think we have a decent transfer market in our club? I'll give that question, or I'll take that question. I think we have we have to be looking into the market. I think there's still a decent appeal for us. I mean, we're still not a top European club, but we're still a European club. We're hopefully gonna end up finishing hopefully in first, but I mean, worst comes to worst, we'll finish in second in the Europa League, so we'll advance. So that'll give players some appeal to come play for us. And more importantly, I think in January, what we need to be looking for is a striker, because as we've seen throughout the season, but especially these last 4 games, Hesse isn't really a striker, and Hesse isn't really that guy. If we can cancel his loan in January, even better. So yeah, we need a striker. We need probably a number 6. And maybe a center back, depending on how bad Luis Neto is after today's game, because he did go out and apparently he went to hospital. So all the best to him. But yeah, at least just for January, definitely a striker and a number 6. So yeah, next question comes in from Anthony Menez at Anthony M _SCP. Neto's injury seemed pretty serious. He's out for an extended period. Thoughts on Eduardo Quaresma being called up as our 3rd central defender? Any chances Silas is considering him over Ilori? That's a good shout. I actually forgot about Eduardo Quaresma. Nando, I'll pass the one off to you, dude. Do you think Quaresma has a chance to even be ahead of Ilori?
But I don't think he's going to be the head guy over Ilori at all. Especially us bringing in Ilori and making it a big thing that he came back to the club and blah, blah, blah. Nah, there's no way he's going to get the call up over Ilori unless, injuries persist. I can see him being called up and riding bench if need be while Ilori starts or fills in. But that's as far as I think that goes.
Yeah, agreed, sadly. But hopefully Eduardo Quaresma, if not this season, next season, can start breaking into the first team. Next question comes from our boy all the way out in Jordan, by the name of Abdallah, #Verandajout, at Armuti92. He asks, is it me or is Ratu Gelson better than all the wingers we have in the first team currently? Is Max finally our number 1 keeper? Christian, what do you think, dude?
No.
In terms of Max?
No, Gelson. Fuck Gelson. I never even Chelsea that much when he was here, man. He put his head down, dribble to the corner. A not incredible crossing or finishing ability. Fast though. I mean, I don't care that he's not here, to be honest. That's all I'll say on him. And is Max Value number one keeper? It would appear as things are potentially trending in that direction. He hasn't. I mean, so how many? He's played 3 games now. He played the Europa League game, the first Gil Vicente game, and this game. He was good in PSV. He was not amazing in the Gil Vicente, and he was fine today. So he's had like 1 good, 1 bad, 1 average performance. He hasn't completely cemented the spot, obviously, with that record. But I think that kind of is what Silas wants to do, or appears to be what he wants to do, is start Max.
Yeah, agreed. Next question comes in from Alkshet Youth at Alkshet Youth. How long will Varandas survive? I have a feeling he will be president for 4 or 5 years till the new election because nothing happens against him. I think 4 or 5 years is a stretch. But Nando, what are your thoughts?
Is that winning re-election and then having?
I guess so.
I
guess so. That. Yeah, me neither.
So you cut up a little bit. You said, what are my thoughts on Varandas?
Yeah, so Alkshit Youth just asks, how long will Varandas survive?
Oh, okay. Probably the duration of his fucking presidency. What, 2 more years left, and then probably be reelected. Because at this point, there's absolutely zero expectation and zero hope of sport that should be. So, congratulations, Varanda, you fucking asshole.
Underneath, so Philip Jabolski, I'm hoping I pronounced that right. He said they already collected enough signings to kick them off. 7th of January will be the day for presenting them to start Special Assemblée Générale. Wow.
So the problem with that,
we knew that already. We knew that they had the signatures, though.
The problem with that, though, is it's back to the same shit. We continue to let the older members have the vote. With the vote, and there you go. Same thing.
True. All right. Next question comes in from Football Macedonia at Macedonian Foot. Thoughts on Ristovski's overall and his performance today? He has had a tough season due to injury and whatnot. So want to know what Sporting fans think of Ristovski and where they stand on him. I mean, I like Ristovski overall. I thought today maybe wasn't his best day, but he wasn't necessarily bad. I think the more he plays this season, the more it shows that he's probably second option to Rosier, in my opinion at least. But overall, I've liked Ristovski. Ristovski has always given 110% for the shirt. He's always been good attacking-wise and defensively. He's been decent defensively, at least I can say. But I think if the rumors are true, or at least if I'm going off rumors, I think, Sporting will probably end up selling him soon time. But overall, I like Ristovski. And today he was all right. He wasn't that bad. Next question comes in from Nasser at N7_DS7. He asks, what do we need to change in January? Buy players, sell, promote from the U23s, call back loan players, etc. And where do you see us finishing in the league and Europa? Christian, I'll pass that one off to you, dude.
Yeah. So we kind of touched on it earlier, what kind of signings we need. There are a couple U23s. I think Pedro Mendes definitely will be on that team. I'd like to see Mateus Nunes, Tomas Silva. I don't know if players like Bragança are going to come back or not, or the other guy that's at Estoril, the longer hair and the tattoo sleeve. Yeah, him. He's having a good season as well. I don't know. I don't fully expect any of these players like that to return, but it would be nice. And where do I see us finishing in the league? I see us finishing 4th, but I'm all in on the European adventure, boys. Where are we going? How far are we going in the Europa League?
Dude, what do you think?
One round, if we're lucky.
Yeah, I think we're gonna get.
Depending on our
finishing first. I think if we finish first, we're getting some 3rd place Champions League team, And even if we finish second, we're getting an even tougher third place finished Champions League team, dude.
Yeah, I mean, we got a favorable draw last year and still fucking choked, so.
That's a good point. Anyways, next question comes in from Kevin Fernandez, Jack K. Fernandez, 1906. Diaby or Camacho? I know who I'd prefer, and it's the guy who can at least run. Damn. Nando, what are your thoughts on that? Do you think that Diaby is better than Camacho? Do you think Camacho is a waste of $5 million?
Yeah, I think Camacho has been a complete letdown. I mean, granted, he was hurt for a beginning there, but he seems so unsure of himself. At least Diaby can run and just puts his head down and goes. So I mean, there's that. And then like Sosa Sintra used to say, like he's the fastest guy in Portugal. So give the man a highway, and he maybe outrun somebody. I mean, bums me. He is just like five. You know, you sit there and you watch him play, and then you're like $5 million for this for real. I don't know, man. I'd rather take Diaby all day over Camacho right now, based on what I've seen, and I'll take Diaby.
Fair enough.
I cannot accept that. I've been fucking so scarred from that guy. I thought Camacho had a good couple games recently when he finally got a chance to play. I thought he was a bit better. He kind of impressed me a little bit, so I'll take him over Diaby all day. But $5 million still.
$5 million?
Agreed.
But I mean, he showed flashes recently.
Yeah, I'm with you there. And unfortunately, Camacho barely plays, so it's not like we can have like a real verdict on a guy.
Diaby did play way too much. Like,
yeah,
a lot of minutes, man.
Yeah, Kaiser fucking loved that guy. I don't know why. I don't know what he's seen in him, but yeah. Anyways, yeah, true. Sosa Sintra loved him too. Last question, and you know what? He was captain of Mali. You know what? I might be leaning towards Diaby right now. He captained Marega, boys.
He scored that one goal in the African Cup of Nations.
A banger too. Yeah. True. You know what? I'm changing allegiance. Sorry, bro. Diaby all the way. Next comment, last comment I should say, comes in from Deca at Kyle the Portuguese with 2 E's. He just says, this team gives me high blood pressure. You and me both, buddy. Anyways, let's go into the PSV game. I got the lineup here somewhere. There we are. So our lineup was as follows. We had Luis Max in net, Rosier, Ilori, Mathieu, and Acuna in defense, Bruno Fernandes, Doumbia, Wendell in midfield with Balassi, Vieto, and Luis Felipe up top. Christian, what were your thoughts on this game, dude? It was a big 4-0 win, I should mention. Sorry, I didn't even mention the scoreline.
Yeah, I think this is probably the most complete performance of the season.
Yep.
They came out to play. They dominated. It was all Sporting. This was the Max debut game. Thought he played well. Came out well. Took down or won the ball from Bruma that one time when he came out. That was nice. And then the second half it kind of slowed down a little bit. Sporting was just confidently just controlling the game up 3-0. Didn't really need to do too much, and then they got the break. Acuna dribbled the whole team, and then they got a PK, made it 4-0. So yeah, it felt good to smash these guys to get through to the next round. These guys beat us the first time, so that felt good. And honestly, we might have done a number on their chances of advancing to the next round as well. They're in trouble now, and they kind of are hoping that we do them a favor by beating Lask Linz, which I don't think is going to happen because I don't think we care about the game, nor do I think we're better than Lask Linz. So I don't think we're going to help them out too much there. Sorry, guys. They might be screwed. They're very well seemed like that they were likely to win the group, and now they could be on the outside looking in. So yeah, it was a good result, and it pretty much makes that match day 6 game. We don't have to worry about it anymore.
Yeah, we just have to worry about whether we want first or not. Which isn't that big of a deal to me, to be honest. But yeah, Nando, what about you, dude?
Yeah, like I mentioned, you guys at the beginning of the game, most of it is just highlights from what I gather, but it was clear to me that this was by far the consensus that our best game of the year. Um, I like looking at the formation. I like the way Silas decided to start this game. I like Bolezi at wing with Philippe striker like that. And, going up 3-0 at halftime, that's as good as you can, write it up. You know what I mean? I'm sure none of us would have thought that that would have been the case. Another good game by Bruno Fernandes, 2 goals. Jeremy
Two
Mathieu,
assists
the
also.
huh?
2 goals, 2 assists.
Yeah, true.
That's right. Yeah, 2 goals, 2 assists. You're right. Yeah, yeah. So more of him, like we're used to. And then, I think everybody's favorite ageless wonder, Mathieu, doing his thing. Um, what more could well in that game versus what we've seen them play since then and before then. But there is also something to be said. One of our Twitter questions mentioned it. What was Ajax on an 8-game winless streak?
Yeah, yeah.
So there's something obviously there that I'm sorry, not Ajax. PSV needs to address. But on our end, I mean, we put it together. We played well, and it was good to have a good game like that in Europe too.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, I'll just quickly reiterate the same points. Definitely our best game of the season. I think one of our most complete performances since Georges Jesus. I want to say as far back as the first season, but I won't be so hard. So I'll say maybe like against the Barcelonas or the Juventus when we drew against Juventus. Yeah, I think the thing that this game and the following 3 games shows when Sporting plays against a team that will try to pressure the ball and won't sort of defend with a low block. I think that's the sort of games that suit us. Whereas when we face these teams like Gil Vicente, like Moreirense, where 10 players are behind the ball, I think that's when we really can't cause like any real what's the word I'm looking for? Any real trouble, really, because against PSV we were able to move the ball well, especially in the back to the midfield to the forward line. Whereas against Moreirense, against Gil Vicente, we've had moments where we can play the ball out from the back, but then we're just too slow in transition, and we just let them, get that low block, and then we're pretty much fucked. So I think that's really what complemented us as well. Not only their confidence, but even the way they play the game complements our style of the game. But anyways, I was gonna ask man of the match, but I think it's unanimous. 2 goals, 2 assists. It had to go to Bruno Fernandes. Am I right, boys?
Yeah.
All right, cool. We'll move on to the next game. Gil Vicente away, or Gil Vicente was at home. We were playing in Barcelos. Let me pull up the lineup. I just had it. 1 second. There we are. We had Max again in net, making his league debut, if I'm not mistaken. Then we had Rosier right back, Ilori, Jeremy Mathieu, and Acuna completing that defense with Doumbia, Wendell, and Bruno Fernandes in the midfield, with Vietu, Hesse, and Luis Felipe up top. Christian, I'll start again with you, dude. It was a 3-1 loss. A lot of mistakes on our end. What were your thoughts on the game?
Yeah, it was pretty poor. There really was no offense or chances created until like the 40-some minute, like 42nd, and then we had a couple chances in a row. Wendell had one, then he had the one he scored, and then there was one other one. Hesse, and then there's up for debate if that's a penalty or not. I think it's probably not, but it's closer than it was given credit for at the time. Yeah, man, this just overall fucking sucked. Ilori, if Ilori plays multiple games in a row, the chance that the chance that you avoid catastrophe for that entire time is almost a 0% chance. So obviously the Ilori catastrophe was coming, and it was this game because he was horrible, and he gave them a free goal also. He was super, super, super poor overall. Ended up getting substituted, I think, at the end, or towards the end.
Yep.
So there was that. I think that our goal is just kind of like ugly, and Wendell didn't even really finish it well. I think that he could be offside as well, so I don't even know if that should have counted. And then just to add it, and there was another PK shot as well, the Balassi header at the end off the guy's arm. I don't think that that's a PK. I think that Hesse's is probably more of a PK than that was. And then, to add insult to injury, their guy fucking dribbled our whole team and cooked Bruno Fernandes completely and put the game away. They were the better team. They beat Porto there in the first week of the season. Now they beat Sporting. It's not a bad team. It's very well coached, just well organized. I mean, they have a great coach, Vitor Oliveira. And he knew exactly, what he was doing here. Kind of shaded us in the post-game interview as well. So fuck you for that. But you're probably right. Our team does suck.
Yeah. What about you? What about you, Nando? What are your thoughts on the game? I know you only watched the highlights, but what were your thoughts?
Top there, I'm watching. No, yeah. I'm watching the highlights again because there's a couple things that Christian just mentioned that are obvious. Lottie was god awful. He's so bad. And
I think his goal point rating was 4.0. So I mean, that's horrible.
So bad. So he lets him he just gets right past them. He whiffs on the pass or the kickback, whatever the hell he's trying to do. Then Mathieu's just watching. He doesn't make an attempt at the ball at all. I don't know if he's scared for a penalty. Acuña's coming in on the back. This is that shot too on their first goal. He hits it poorly. Then you got the penalty, and then the last goal that you talked about, where he just runs on us. And everybody's just standing there watching. Nobody makes an effort to try to challenge this guy, which is kind of shocking. I mean, he runs. He pulls off a Son before Tottenham played. It's crazy.
It's true.
Dude, and then Vitor Oliveira hit it. We fucking suck. It is what it is. I mean, we don't have good players. We have expensive mindset that because it costs us X amount of money, they're good. They're just expensive because of the market we live on, and we just don't have a good team.
Yeah, 100%, dude. And just to hit on that point too, I mean, I don't know how many times I have to say this, but we had Balassi and Hesse, and it's are they that much better than Matheus Pereira? Clearly not. Look at what Matheus Pereira is doing.
They're not better at all, bro.
Exactly. They're just cost more.
Overrated.
Hesse is so fucking washed, man. He is so washed, dude. And he should go play in the Spanish second division or something.
And even then, I don't know if he's good enough for them. Yeah, man, it's just upsetting because he's the type of profile Verender said he wasn't going to go after, and that's exactly what he went after. And in fact, he went after 3 of them, really. He's just lucky Vieto ended up panning out, but he said he didn't want a player that would jump from club to club. That's all Hesse's been doing ever since it's not been working out for Real Madrid. And Balassi as well, let's be real, even though Balassi is coming off of an injury. You didn't want a player that would come from preseason overweight, and that's exactly. And not to sort of scapegoat the guy because it is the entire team that performed badly, but Hesse was horrible, and Ilori especially as well was horrible. We were lucky with the Wendell goal that it was a frango. Acuña didn't see his best game either, giving away a penalty, and then that counter at the end was embarrassing. And fun fact, I don't know if you guys noticed, he put Bruno Fernandes on his ass before scoring that goal.
He did.
Scoring the 3-1. So, not a good day. Not a good day at the office. And
not a good match.
And especially coming off a 4-0 fucking Europa win.
And it's not only that, it's the most typical Sporting ever to do because Famalicão had dropped points. And we could have been 1 point. We could have been what we are today, 1 point away from Famalicão. And today, maybe we could have been 3rd place. But no, Sporting pulled the Sporting and decided to lose. But yeah, anyway, I mean, you guys mentioned Vitor Oliveira. You guys agree with his comments, right? Sporting really only has one good player.
Yeah, I agree with his comments. I mean, he's also said that our roster is shittier than our rivals. That's probably true. But to be fair, our rivals, this isn't their best years either. We're just even worse than them, or our average. I guess.
That's even scarier, dude. To me, that
Agreed.
they're not
They
doing
get
well.
scraped in Europe, man. They suck. They're not that good either, and they're significantly better than us, which means that we're trash.
And if I'm not mistaken, I believe Porto is still tied 1-1 against Belenenses as we speak.
They are. They're gonna drop points.
Exactly. Yeah. Anyways, I guess nothing more left to say about that 3-1 disaster class. It's just so typical Sporting coming off their best game of the season, best game in a long time. They probably put in their worst game of the season. Anyways, next game was for Taça da Liga, where we needed a crucial 3 points to still somewhat be in it. Lineup was as followed. We had Renan Ribeiro back in net. We had Ristovski back in action, Coates coming back from injury, Luis Neto with his first start in a while, and Acuna, who ended up getting a red. We had Miguel Luis coming back into action, Doumbia, Bruno Fernandes, and Wendell, and at front two of Bolasie and Luis Felipe. Christian, again, I'll start off with you, dude. What were your thoughts on this game? Christian, I think you're on mute, dude.
Yeah, I was on mute. My bad.
It's all good.
Yeah, I mean, this wasn't a masterclass by any point. At first, it kind of reminded me a little bit of the Rio Ave game that we lost in the Taça da Liga, where we just fucking pelted the goal and then they somehow scored at the end. It was just classic. So the fact that we were pelting the goal and then weren't scoring, I was like, this is really gonna happen again. We literally just lost to these guys. Like, is this really going to happen again? They kind of disrespected us a little bit because they rotated their entire squad. They had 2 players that played against us the game before, and we had our full strength 11. So that was kind of like a fuck you. I mean, we were better. We had more chances. I think we scored, right? We scored. Bolasie was offside. No, Ristovski was offside on the play that eventually led to Bolasie scoring. Felipe had a chance. Bolasie really just can't score. The guy cannot score no matter what he does. He had a thunderous shot too that went over. He's done that a couple times this season. He's cutting in. He's like putting shots like on target or near the target. Sometimes they're like very powerful shots, but they just don't go in. And he finally scored. It didn't count. I mean, I think he scored 1 goal before, right, for us. 1 or 2, but man, the guy really is like unable to finish. And he had like 4 chances in this game. Acuna, we gotta talk about Acuna. That was, I mean, Bruno Fernandes. All right, so there should have been 3 players sent off in this game. The Rio Ave player who came in on Bruno Fernandes with already had a yellow and completely caught him with his studs up. Should have been a second yellow. Bruno Fernandes also should have been sent off. He was treading the line the whole game, just like Acuna was, mouthing off with a yellow and just overall being reckless. Acuna actually took it a step further and decided he was going to go ahead and get himself sent off, but he could have gotten like 5 yellows in this game, man. He was like, he completely lost his head, more than average. Like he normally is kind of on like 60% my head is lost just normally, but he was completely out of control in this game and just completely wasteful to get fucking sent off in the 91st minute of a fucking League Cup game. Just not worth it. But then the good note was we did get to end on a better note because that counter Hesse, right? Hesse, Vieto, Bruno, Vieto. Yeah. Nice goal, and it sealed the deal.
Yeah, agreed.
Nando, also, Romario Balde was fucking. He looked like a. I had to look him up, man, because I had no idea what the fuck had happened in that guy's career. Because he was kind of tearing us up. Like, he's like a sub for Gil Vicente, and he was tearing us up. He's only like 22, man. He's been in like Poland on loan and all this shit. And he just signed for Gil Vicente on a free this year, and I thought he looked all right. He was kind of He's kind of had Acuna on the ropes the whole fucking game. That's probably why he's getting so pissed off.
True. Nando, what about you, dude?
I mean, we had to freaking go back at them with pretty much the full squad, minus a few comebacks. And these are good players to have come back. Christovsky, Kowats. I'm okay with that to come and playing in a while. Hernan Ribeiro, I wish I'd seen, more of Maximiano, but whatever. And we need 2-0. And didn't you guys kind of mention that they were missing a lot of their starters?
Yep.
So
yeah, they only had 2 of the that started the last game.
That's a lot.
And one of
to
them
be
was
said
the
right
goalie.
Yeah,
Fucking sad.
exactly.
So yeah, we won 2-0. I really don't have much to say on it because I caught the Bruno Fernandes free kick, really good goal. The Luciano Vieta more of a counterattack at the end of the game there. Per se earlier in the game, but it is what it is. If they had not won that game, I think we would have had to riot, but at least we won that one.
Yeah, agreed. The only real other talking point I wanted to bring up, I think Acuna
that Acuna thing.
No, that was I think that's a little harsh. Especially the first yellow. Let me try to see it again.
He does it all the time, though, and he just is building this reputation. It's like in the NFL, if a guy's like known for a dirty hit, and then it's a borderline one, like they're gonna call it. Like he's just like the get in the ref face guy and get a yellow, so he just gets it every time now. Like
I agreed, but a lot of the time I understand his frustration though, because a lot of the time it's a bullshit call that the ref will get against them.
The refs often are horrible.
It's the same way with okay, a little different obviously, but the same way last year when Christovsky got a fucking elbow to the forehead and he went up to the ref to like fucking complain about it and he sees the red about it. I get the frustration. So I guess I'll ask you guys this: do you then agree with Silas' comments when he said, Acuna is no longer a junior or a juvenile or whatever the term was that he used. He's a professional. He should learn how to control his emotions. Do you guys agree with that then?
Yeah, I think he needs to get it in check because often you can tell that he's out there with his head lost. So yeah, I mean, it's especially in games in the Portuguese league. I mean, you can kind of get away with stuff. Bruno Fernandes definitely gets away with more than he probably should. And in Europe, you do the same things, and you get a yellow every single time if you do it in Europe. And it happens. So I think that's the last part of our season that is still remains to be determined potentially. So hopefully they show up in those games and don't fucking get booking suspensions or just make it harder than they need to.
Agreed. I agree that I think Acuna definitely needs to learn how to tone it down, but I also don't want to see him lose that fire in him because really that's what makes him really a quality player. That especially on defense when he's determined to win a ball back, even if that means a hard tackle. Like fuck it, he's going in. And that's one of my things that I like about Acuna. But yeah, I agree. He definitely needs to have his emotions in check. Yeah, that's really all. Yeah, that's all I really had to say about that. Anything else you guys wanted to mention? Oh, actually, one more thing. So Rio Ave currently with 6 points in the group, coming up against Gil Vicente, who are already out. Sporting with 3. For Sporting to make it through, we have to hope that Gil Vicente, who are already out, like I mentioned, get a result against Rio Ave, a win especially. Or a draw. Actually, a draw will work as well. They tied against Portimonense, I should say. They have 4 points. Sporting have 3. So, yeah, we have to hope that Rio Ave doesn't win against Gil Vicente. And we have to also hope that we beat Portimonense. And, yeah, basically that's it. Do you guys think we'll make it through to the next round of the Taça da Liga like we did last year in similar fashion? Nando, I'll start that one off with you, dude.
So right now we are in...
So we're in 3rd place. Portimonense and Rio Ave both have 4 points because they have a win and a draw. Sporting are in 3rd with 3 points with only a win against Gil Vicente and a loss to Rio Ave. And then Gil Vicente, of course, with 0.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I guess I can see us going through, but I don't. I don't think we're playing like we care right now enough to feel comfortable and confident in such a thing. We're not dependent on ourselves like that.
Yeah,
I don't know
agreed.
if Vitor Oliveira's going to be doing us any favors.
I
Because that
agree. Yeah.
game doesn't mean anything for them for them against Rewav. So I don't know how much he's gonna care about it, and as a result, I don't know if they're gonna win or draw. But maybe. I mean, we have to take care of business. We have to beat Portimao away. Which I mean, can we even do that part? Can we even hold up our own end of the bargain and win? I don't know.
Exactly true. Exactly. Yeah. Anyways, let's move on to today's game. With Luis Maximiliano back in net. It was a 1-0 win again at home against Moreirense. We had Luis Max in net, Kristovski, Neto, who was substituted early after an injury for Kouach, Mathieu and Borja completing that defense, Dumbia, Bruno Fernandes, and Wendell in midfield with Hesse, for whatever reason, up top, Bolasi and Viato on the wings. Nando, I'll start this one off with you, dude. What were your thoughts on this game?
So first off, I'm gonna start off by just something I just read from Silas. He said that he would give the team a 7 today in their performance, which I disagree. Uh, dude, I think that his formation wasn't right. I think he's still trying to figure out the best setup personally, and I'll let you guys tell me how you feel about this. But I like seeing. First off, I don't like Jose at all. I think we've made that point clear. I think that at the very least, go with a guy that is a striker, which is Philippe, who did score a really nice goal. Start with him. Don't start with Jose. That's a waste of space and a waste of time right there. So right off the bat, I didn't like the formation. But the team just plays that it's like it reeks, man. I get that they're trying to like make this guy, be the best thing that's ever played at Sporting and just trying to justify every single penny that he makes. But then you have a comment from Silas at the end of the game that says that if he was well rested, he could have scored 2 or 3 goals. That's shameful. That's shameful after already having a press conference before the game saying that he's an untouchable on the team. And then the performance of the players, they all, everything gets fed to him. So that's noticed. And then 2, I think Jeremy Mathieu rightfully won man of the match. I think he played wonderfully. I think he continues to show wonderful moments of offense, whether that's that free kick that hit the post, that cross was on the money. And then, like I talked about, the header from Philippe, that was a really good header, a striker's header. And that's good to see there. But overall, I think the team disappointed, and more so when we were up a man with however many minutes ago, 15 or so, and then watching Moreirense be the ones that are going out. Like, that's disappointing, man, and that says everything you need to know about the mentality of the club right
now. Agreed. How about you, Christian?
First things first. Those jerseys that Moreirense is wearing, they need to be gathered up and burned. Because what the fuck, man? What the fuck? Purple and orange, like, design.
Horrible.
So bad. All right. I had to say that first. The game itself, it was actually the most shots taken in a Liga NOS game this season. Sporting, 28 shots. 16 of them were outside the box, so most of them were from outside the box, but still a shit ton of shots, a lot of chances. No, they deserved to win. I think that they did enough and had enough and better chances to win the game. Yeah, like Nando said, Mathieu was excellent, almost scored one himself. Bruno Fernandes, pretty good as well. Borja did a decent job standing in. Same with the Risto. I actually thought Vieto did pretty well. And that was a great goal by Luis Felipe. That's a very difficult header, and he got a lot of power on it. It's not easy. He's kind of fading away, too. That's not an easy header. So that's a great goal. And it took a great goal to win because it didn't seem like it was going to go in under, normal circumstances. So it took a great goal. And, yeah, I mean, the last game at Alvalade in 2019. So
Yeah.
we got a result there at least for the fans that were there. And just another churning along in the league here. Famalicão drop points again, right?
Yep, they lost to
Portimão.
There we go. Yeah.
Yeah, so 1 point back a third, which is nice, but second and first are still very, very far away.
I think we're 13 from Benfica, and I don't know how much we are now because it seems
Porto,
like Porto's about to tie.
They're gonna draw, and they're gonna be 4 points off the top. 2 games from the top. So I don't know, man. Team in red seems like they might win, even though their team isn't seemingly really even that good this year. But churning along here, same old shit.
Yeah, I think the difference between even Benfica this year and like the rest of the pack, especially I'll keep it especially to Benfica and Sporting, seeing as Benfica's in first, is that Benfica will if this was a Benfica game today, they win 4-0. Even though we played pretty bad, and for the most part, Benfica played pretty bad, even in Portugal. The difference is they can finish. I think Sporting, the amount of chances we've had today, we should at least have won this game 2-3-0. Okay, we were unlucky in the first half by being centimeters offside. I look back at it now, I'll agree with it. Though at first when I was watching the game, I didn't think it was offside. I think it was just barely offside. I'm still with the opinion that I don't think VAR is a measurement tool. VAR is only for the clear and obvious. But okay, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. It was offside's offside. But with that being said, Sporting should have done a lot more with all the chances we had. Another thing that's frustrated me today was every time we get a free kick, doesn't matter how far away it is or how close it is, we're looking to shoot on net. And I understand we have 2 great free kick takers in Mathieu and Bruno Fernandes, but every now and again, we have to catch these guys off guard. Jorge Jesus had great penalty kick takers in his teams. And we still had every now and again some fucking crazy idea that would almost at least pull off into a goal. I think that's one minor aspect, but still one aspect Sporting needs to work on. But yeah, aside from that, I think that's really it's our finishing that we're lacking. That's the reason why we're losing games. That's the reason why we don't blow out teams. And I think that's the reason why we were so shocked at a 4-0 against PSV. What else can we say about this game? Nando, you actually gave your opinion on this already, so I'll ask Christian it. What were your thoughts on Silas' comments on that there's only one untouchable player on this team, if you will?
I don't really think we read that much into it because, whether or not he says it or not, I think we all know that it's true and who he's talking about. And I think everyone on the team knows. Everyone who follows the team knows. I mean, people who follow the sport know that he kind of just fucking scores all their goals or assists them.
Yeah.
That's just how it is.
It's a good point. Even those that don't know Portuguese football, the only thing they know really about Sporting nowadays is Bruno Fernandes. So yeah, agreed. Anything else you guys want to mention on this game? Nothing's really coming to me at the moment.
No, I mean it wasn't a bad performance. I thought Hesse was better than he was in the other games where he was atrocious. I mean, I didn't think he was fully terrible in this game. He was one of the worst on the field, but I didn't think that anyone played that bad, truly.
Fair. How about you, Nando?
Bolasie just is annoying to me, man. But
man.
I actually didn't mind Bolasie today, though. He was close. I thought he deserved at least a goal. All right. Anyways, yeah. I guess I'll just ask man of the match for today. Who do you think, Nando?
100% Jeremy Mathieu, for sure.
Agreed. How about you, Christian?
The obvious one's Bruno Fernandes, just for his stats. 8 passes for finalization, or like eight, passes that created chances. That's ridiculous.
True. Yeah.
I'm gonna go Vieto. Thought he quietly had a nice game as well.
All right. Yeah. Agreed. I'll stick with Nando, and I'll say Mathieu. All right, we'll go into Modalidades before giving in our previews. So this morning, actually, or at least morning here for us in the East Coast, Sporting's futsal team beat Ademudicus. I believe that's how you pronounce it. 5-3. Goals from Diego Cavenito, Cardinal, João Matos, and 2 from Tainan da Silva. That brings Sporting still in second, 4 points behind Benfica. But I mean, we're in the playoff rounds. We're not in the Champions League this year, so all we have to focus on really is domestic competitions. So I think Sporting's still in a good position to do well this season. Our handball team also won in a big win against our rivals Benfica, 26-21, in the 16th game. I'm trying to see if it says anywhere here the league table. Do you know where we sit by chance, Christian, in handball? If not, I can look it up real quick.
I think we're in first. I think we have
nice.
I think we have no losses or 1 loss.
I don't think we've lost either. Anyways, Anyways, a big win against Benfica. The U23 boys also won 1-0 against away to Marítimo.
Actually, us and Porto are both 15-1. 15-0-1.
Interesting.
Cool.
How about in Champions League? We're still good, right? In terms of handball,
we just advanced to the playoff to make the round of 16. So we have a two-leg game against Dinamo Bucharest from Romania. So we play them 2 legs, and if we win, then we're into the last 16. So I think it's basically a play-in game to get into the quarter or the round of 16. And we finished second in our group, which gave us access to that. So still live in Europe. I think that game, those games are in January or February.
Yeah.
So they're coming up at the beginning of next year.
Dope. The handball boys doing well. Also, 1-0 away against Marítimo in the under-23 league. Goal from Nuno Correia. That brings us up to, we're still in first. Let me just double check that I had that here somewhere. Sorry, boys, on terms of the lack of preparedness. Yeah, we're up in first, 1 point ahead of Benfica, who have 41 points. We have 42, but a pretty good distance from Rio Ave with 35 points in third. Good to see us getting back to winning ways. I know we've been struggling in the U23, so hopefully this will bring us some confidence and will really push us on throughout the next year, even though we have a few games this year. But anyways, we also beat the female team. Beat, let me scroll up here, Valadares Gaia FC. I didn't say that right. Valadares, I think. Anyways, we beat them 4-0. A big comfortable lead. I think that brings us up to third still, behind Braga and Benfica, with not a lot of ground to get. I'll Google the league table in a second, and I'll let you guys know. But also a huge win yesterday against Porto in basketball, which brings us up tied to first with Benfica and Porto, all on 21 points, all with 10 wins, 1 loss. We beat Porto 89-78, with 3 of our players getting the highest points total. Trevante Williams with 30 points, James Ellisor with 19 points, and Abu with 17 points. The team is nice, and I'm a big fan of Sporting making a nice comeback to the Portuguese basketball leagues. And as we were saying a bit off podcast, really want Sporting and really the entire Portuguese league to do well, but really wants to see Sporting in some European competitions sometime soon. It would be really fun to see us against like the Barcelonas, the Madrids, those Turkish teams. It'd be really cool. And in terms of football femenina, we're actually in second. My mistake, boys. 2 points ahead of Braga. We have 27 points. Braga has 25 points. Benfica with 30 points. We're just 3 points behind them. Remember, we lost to them earlier in the season. That was the only loss that we obtained. Yeah. 3 points behind, so still not a lot of ground to cover. Still a little behind, but still a lot more to play. With more and more results, hopefully we can get a big result against Braga. We can build some confidence. It would be good. And that's really all I have for Modalidades this week. Seeing as it's still Sunday, we didn't get everything, but that was the main ones at least. Hockey patins. That's what I forgot to do. I had that somewhere here. Just bear with me for a second. Fill up on it. I think it was this one. No. Anyways, I believe we won in hockey patins, right? Do you guys happen to know? There it is. Yeah, we did. 4-0 against AJ Vienna. Yeah. I can't tell you where we are in the league table right now, but
I know that.
Sorry?
We're
fourth?
Yeah, it's 24, 22, 22, 22, 19. So there's Oliveirense, Barcelos, Benfica, Sporting, Porto are all separated by only 5 points.
Damn.
And then there's the field.
Right.
But yeah,
right.
Oliveirense and Barcelos having good seasons. Only one loss for all of them.
Yeah. Oliveirense is always a good team in terms of modalities, especially
they made it
and basketball.
They made it to the Final Four of the Champions League. Oliveirense. There's 3 Portuguese teams in the Final Four.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Anyways, that's all that we got this week for Modalidades. Before finishing this off, we'll go into the next 2 fixtures the Sporting has. As Christian mentioned earlier, today was the last game in Avalad for 2019. We have 3 away games, 1 to Lask coming on Thursday, 1 to Santa Clara
That's
for
a
the
tough
league.
trip, man. Austria straight to the Azores.
Exactly. And then we go all the way down south to Algarve. So it's tough for the Taça da Liga. So it'll be tough. And then the worst of all, our next game at home, it's against Porto. But let's not go too far ahead of ourselves now. Thoughts on our game against Lask on Thursday? Nando, I'll start that one off with you, dude.
Let's see. So right now, Lask is second. It's gonna be tough as hell, man. They're gonna want to secure, right? And PSV Eindhoven is third with 7. To travel. I don't know how predictions wise is gonna be tough for me to say, man. But I hoping for at least a tie out of that thing so we can try to guarantee first place because we have 2 games left in the group, or is that our last game? No, that's our last game, right?
It's our last game, yeah.
Yeah, so a point gets us first place. So,
what would you prefer Steelers do? Would you rather a rotated squad, seeing as we're already qualified, or do you want us to actually fight for first?
Honest, skip the rotation, figure out a team that's going to stay consistent and attack the second half of this year with everything we have. And try to see what we can get out of it, whether that's Europe or Taça da Liga or whatever the hell we can do. You know what I mean? Like at this point, what good does a rotation do to a team that's 13 points back from first place or something like that? It doesn't matter. Rotation doesn't do anything. Rotation isn't going to serve anybody any purpose, and it's going to at least let us figure out who we can keep and who we can get rid of.
I 100% agree with that, actually. Christian, what about you, dude? What are your previews and predictions on the last game?
I think we're probably going to go there and lose, mostly just because I think that they're very good. They're motivated. They're at home. I agree with you guys on the rotation, but I think that he's still going to do it. Not that I agree with it, but I think that he probably will rotate the squad. And I think that I could see us, kind of getting hammered a little bit, maybe like 3-0, 3-1, something like that. Because they are kind of, like free scoring at home. It seems that they scored 4 on PSV also, didn't they? At home.
Yep.
So
I think they won 4-1. I think it was.
They could have beat us legit 5-0. I don't know how we won that game. They had so many chances, and then we scored 2 goals in like 1 minute and somehow won. So yeah, I think that they probably win. I wish they doesn't rotate because I think truthfully of the 3 games that we have left in December, Santa Clara is probably the least important, and I'm pretty sure that's the one he's definitely not going to rotate the squad for. Because I think at this point you just got to prioritize the competitions where you're still, have a prayer. So Europa League, Taça de Liga, in theory, we're both alive. We're very much alive in both of those competitions, and the league not so much. Maybe only for another 2 weeks to Taça de Liga. But if you go out there, then it's only the league in Europe. So you might as well, there's no point in rotating the squad in that Taça de Liga game. You might as well go for it and hope for the best. Hope that Gil Vicente does you a favor. And then we can start winning PK shootouts in the Final Four of that.
Exactly. And just a quick, their last game 3-1 against Wolfsburger. But the game before that, they lost 4-0 against Rapid Vienna.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, it is.
So,
Wolfsburger's in the Europa League. It's not bad.
Yeah, they are. They're not bad, yeah.
That is interesting.
Lask is currently in second though in the Austrian league, 2 points behind FC Red Bull Salzburg. So, which also are a pretty good
Champions League, yeah.
Yeah.
They have a fucking 18-year or 19-year-old kid who's scoring all those goals.
Haaland or some shit like that, right?
Haaland, yeah.
Killing it. He'll probably go to England sometime next year, dude.
Yeah, I think he will.
Probably United.
Everyone, all the big clubs want him right now.
Yeah. Which is funny. I mean, that's anytime a kid does well in Champions League, it's like the Sharks coming in,
Yeah.
Everyone. That's why if Bruno Fernandes was in the Champions League last season,
what really did it for João Felix, man? The semifinal, or no, what the semifinal?
The quarterfinal?
No, quarterfinals of the Europa League where they lost to
Atletico,
or no, they lost to Frankfurt on away goals, right, or something like crazy. But he scored a bunch of goals over the 2 leg. Everyone was jerking him off in the the national media.
And I think that's why.
No, that's when Bruno Fernandes
having a good campaign.
Too.
So I think that's why we might be able to see 70 next summer.
Yeah, he gets love because he performs in Europe. I mean, he performs in all the games, but it's the ones in Europe that really catch people's attention.
Exactly.
He's the leading scorer in the competition.
Is he really? Holy shit.
He's tied for first. There's 3 people with 5 goals. So he's joint top scorer in the competition.
Damn. And I think he has 4 or 5
and he has 3 assists,
well, right?
which is 4 assists. Yeah, so he's first in goals, 4th in assists. It's pretty crazy.
All right. Hopefully we'll sell him for $70 million next season. Anyways, I'm saying it'll be a 1-1 draw away from home. What do you think, Christian?
Score-wise for Lask or for the Santa Clara?
For Lask.
For Lask, I've got Lask 3-1.
3-1. And for you, Nando?
1-1.
1-1. And I guess we can also do Santa Clara. I think obviously a tough game away to Açores. Never easy. Santa Clara having decent momentum. Let me try to pull up their last few games.
They're all right. They're not amazing.
I believe they tied. They tied yesterday, right? Against Marítimo. Tied 1-1.
Their
2-2.
Blacks are rocking some cow costumes. That was dope. I don't know if y'all saw that.
I didn't see that, man. That reminded me of some fucking low-level college basketball. There's always weird people in weird costumes in the stands at that.
Yeah, so Santa Clara's recent form isn't the greatest. Lost 2-1 to Boa Vista. They won in the Taça Portugal 4-1 against Leixões. Also lost 2-1 to Benfica, tied to Portimonense, tied to Setúbal, lost to Braga. They're currently in probably the lower end 12th, of the table. Right? The 14th, with 14 points. So, but I mean, for right now, they're comfortably ahead of both Passos Ferreira and Aves, who take up the last 2 spots. What are your previews or predictions on the Santa Clara game away? Nando, I'll start that one off with you, dude.
For Santa Clara, away, tough to play. You get all those Benfica fans that are going to show up to watch. Fuck, that's tough. We either win 2-1 or lose 2-1. I'm going to leave it at that.
I agree. How about you, Chris?
Yeah, I just looked it up. It's a 7-hour flight from Vienna to the Azores, which is actually not as bad as I thought it was going to be. That's still pretty shitty. That's probably like 4 time zone changes. Yeah, so I mean, at least it's on Monday. Yeah, a little bit. So it's a Thursday then Monday. But yeah, I mean, it'll be a tough trip. I don't, I think depending on the momentum coming off the last game, if we get hammered by Lask, it's kind of tough to get on a plane and then go play far away against a decent team. I do think we get a result here, 2-1 though. Scrap it out.
Yeah, I'll agree with you guys. I agree. If we don't win 2-1, we're losing 2-1. And yeah, that's the end of our podcast 59. Thank you guys for joining us, for listening in. Sorry about us being under the weather and even the delay of it. I know we were supposed to do it on the 3rd, just things came up. But anyways, thanks for listening, guys. Follow us on Twitter at Sporting160_EN. On Instagram, one day we'll get that up and running again at Sporting160EN. And we still have merch on what's it called? Shirt spread, or I believe
Spreadshirt.
Spreadshirt. There you go.
Yeah.
Sporting160EN for those interested. And yeah, thank you everybody for listening. And ciao. Viva Sporting.
All day.